In this video, we're going to go over how to set up a progress monitoring schedule for students. Throughout the video, you will see this pause symbol pop up on the screen. Anytime this pops up, feel free to pause the video and follow along on your own computer. First, you are going to log into FastBridge using Clever. Clever can be found up in your extensions. You may have the FastBridge app on your teacher page, and if not, it can be found on the district page. Step one to creating a student progress monitoring schedule is to collect the baseline data. This is done by administering the screening test in FastBridge. You can find screening data under the Screening tab. Step two, select the student or students to progress monitor. From the FastBridge home screen, select the Progress Monitoring tab. From the Progress Monitoring screen, click on the New button. In the pop-up window, make sure that the correct school year is selected and the correct school is selected. Begin typing the name of the student in the Students field to select the student for intervention. You can type in more than one student if you will be monitoring more than one student for this intervention cycle. Then click on the Next button at the bottom of the pop-up window. Step 3. Provide intervention details. Fill out the required fields in the pop-up window. The interventionist is the person responsible for administering the intervention. The subject area is reading or math. The strategy is what strategy you will be implementing. And the name is auto-populated, but you can change this. Click the Next button. Next, set up the intervention schedule. Fill out the required fields in the pop-up window. Fill out the start date and the end date. You do need to select a start time and end time. Select your schedule type. You will most likely use weekly. And then select what days of the week will the student receive intervention. Once complete, click on the Next button. Step 4. Set up a progress monitoring schedule. Fill out each of the required fields in the pop-up window. The monitoring user is the person responsible for monitoring intervention progress. The subject area is reading or math and is auto-populated based on the intervention schedule that you set up. Next, select your monitoring assessment. You can find recommended monitoring assessments through the Screening to Intervention report. The starting form number is not required. Enter the start and end dates. The start and end times are not required. Select the frequency. How often will you be progress monitoring the student or the group of students? And then you can select which days of the week you will be progress monitoring. This is optional. Step 5. Check targets for each student in this intervention group. Scroll down to the bottom of the monitoring schedule pop-up window. Starting and screening scores should be pre-populated, as is the weekly gain and goal. The start score and weekly gain are adjustable, and the goal is calculated based off of those. You will notice that this student does not have a screening score or a start score because we did not administer the screening assessment to this student. Once done, click Next. Set the review schedule. This step is optional. With the defined dates of the intervention, you can set how often the intervention gets reviewed. Click Skip to move on, or fill out the required fields and click Next. There is one last chance to review and update the sections of the intervention plan before creating the intervention and progress monitoring schedule. Click Create once the review is complete. You have now successfully created a progress monitoring plan for your student or students. Click OK. You will now see on my progress monitoring screen the progress monitoring schedule that I just created.